Hello, my name is Chris Quaid. I'm the recruiting manager here with Infinity Recruiting. Today we're going to chat a little bit about what not to put on your resume. I am hoping that in no way, shape, or form this offends any of you viewing this, as I'm sure that many of you may have made a simple mistake, but have probably corrected it at this point on your own resumes. I know I might have actually done this in my past as well. And so what I want to communicate to start out with is that every resume written, your goal should be to capture and ultimately sustain the attention of your reader. You are not looking to be the editor or the author of writing the fine print for some sort of legal disclaimer. Many resumes that I do see, people try to get very creative. They think they're being overly intelligent, and what they end up writing are the terms of acknowledgement or the terms of use that you might see at the bottom of any internet page where you have to check it, and nobody reads it, to be quite frank with you. So your goal, and what I look for in viewing a resume in a candidate that I want to interview, is something that does in fact indicate who you are, what you do and where, how well you do what you do, and I look for obviously your educational background and any relevant information that come along with it. And so we'll finish this up with a little top 10 list of what not to put on your resume, along with maybe a little bit of an editorial here or there. Number one, your work email on your resume, unless you want your boss to know that you're looking for a new job. Number two, listing your high school education if you have a college education beyond that. It's really ultimately a given, but congratulations on your high school diploma. Number three, people who bullet point from their job description that they hold meetings and they run reports and they manage people and they communicate with other departments. All fine and well. We do recognize that you do those things, but again, we need to know how well you do your job in those various functions. Do you make money, or do you just simply manage people and boss them around? Number four, this could get a little bit touchy for some folks because we are all very proud of who we are and the things we do outside of work. But number four is listing your personal affiliations, your volunteer work, your hobbies, primarily because most of it is irrelevant to the job that you might be applying for or interviewing for, but also it can be viewed as sometimes controversial, whether it be a social group or a political affiliation that you have. You never know who's going to be viewing your resume and what their own beliefs are, whether it be socially, politically, or who knows, if you collect baseball cards, maybe that person hates baseball. You just never can tell. But number five, reasons that you've left previous positions. Folks have listed that they've resigned, or that they've been fired, or they left for a better opportunity. At the end of the day, you want to be able to communicate verbally why you left, as opposed to leaving it up to somebody else's discretion as to maybe you're somebody that just doesn't get the job done, or you don't get along with any boss you've ever worked for, or you've resigned because you didn't have enough training or you weren't making enough money. At the end of the day, you leave yourself open to potentially being viewed as maybe the company whiner or something like that at every stop that you've made. Number six, the objective. Quite frankly, I don't really care how clever you can be, but when your objective is ultimately to secure a new position in management or whatever the case might be, it's never really that clever. Everybody knows that your objective is to ultimately get the job that you're interviewing for, so you don't really need to state that as the first line on your resume. It's ultimately begging, I need a job, please hire me, that's why I'm here. Number seven, indicating your areas of proficiency, especially being in the fine art of Microsoft Word, or Microsoft Excel, or the internet, or email. While you're at it, you might as well list that you're a great Facebook user and that you also have an iPhone that you can operate as well. At the end of the day, unless you're submitting your information for a technical position where you do in fact have to design and build software, nobody really needs to know that you are an absolute expert in Microsoft Word and Excel and using the internet. That should be a given. It is in fact 2011. Number 8. Awards that you've won in previous positions that date back, say, 9 or 10 years, but then no additional awards thereafter. Ultimately, your potential employer is going to wonder, what have you been doing the last 7 years? Why have you not won anything? Have you taken a nap or fallen asleep or just simply lost your luster? That's what goes through their mind when they see a list of impressive awards followed by years of no additional activity. Number 9, your salary history. For obvious reasons, you don't want to sell yourself short or ultimately oversell yourself in a position that might not pay as much money as you're requesting, but might pay enough for you to accept. And so you don't want to scare anyone away with too high of demands, and you also don't want to, again, sell yourself short in the event that you have a client or a employer that wants to pay you more money, but they won't because you're only asking for $30,000 when it could have been a $50,000 or $60,000 job. And number 10, again, I fall victim to kind of seeing the importance or lack thereof of certain old school training, if you will, in the fine arts of time management and self-motivation and team building and things of that nature. A lot of the trainings that we see that are listed in certifications are things that were done back in 1995. They probably did, in fact, mold our careers and our management style and our time management capabilities to a certain extent. But listing that as a professionally trained skill is something that everyone in a management seat has ultimately done at some point in their career, and it should be a given. And again, those are my 10 things here today that you probably should not have on your resume. I hope that you've taken them seriously, but at the same time not have gotten offended. And I actually did forget one more, and it's proofreading your resume for things that are there that you don't know are there, that somebody else will ultimately pick up on, because I do carry a red pen in my pocket in the chance that I get to mark up a resume at any given time. So as you write your name and your address and anything else, check the spelling, check your abbreviations. If you find yourself living in Little Rock, Alaska, you may have missed something, because I've checked and there's no such place. That's just a good indicator of someone misspelling an abbreviation that should have been AR. It ended up being AK, and here we are being 1,000 or so miles away from that particular area. But in any case, I hope you've picked up a little bit of something that might help you along the way, or just serve as a general reminder of what not to do on your resume. Have yourself a great rest of your day. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to give us a call at any point, or maybe even comment here on the video. Thanks a lot.